Uh-oh.
Economy. Unemployment last month was the worst since the Great Depression. A record 20.5 million Americans lost their jobs. Here in Illinois, 1 million people have filed for unemployment since March. And when it comes to getting benefits, some have had more success than others.
I was literally dedicating 2 to 3 hours a day every morning before they even opened up to just basically calling and trying to get through. And most of the time it will give you a long drawn out speech and then it'll hang up on you. And I just call right back.
One woman says she has called the Illinois unemployment office more than 500 times and still found herself stuck without answers.
Tia Ewing is live for us tonight with details. Tia.
Well, Correy and Dawn, professional Correy Bell is a comedian, but these tough times have been no laughing matter. Monday, she called the unemployment hotline for hours, and this is what she heard. These sounds are enough for anyone to get frustrated when they know they are dialing the right number.
I literally called 542 times just yesterday.
Comedian and mother of 4, Correy Bell, called the state's unemployment hotline over and over again. She knew no one would believe it, so she logged every time she called. Many who have complained about the state's online system, she went there first.
For 6 weeks, I would go online. It would tell me that my username was wrong or my password needs to be reset.
We watched as several people showed up to the Illinois Department of Employment Security office on Lawrence Avenue, many with the same complaints, hoping to speak to someone in person. But the office is closed because of the coronavirus pandemic. We took the issue to Governor J.B. Pritzker.
We've encouraged people to do is to go online to file. We have upgraded and significantly expanded the number of phone lines and the number of people answering those phones.
Monday, 44,000 Illinoisans that filed 1099s filed for unemployment benefits. At times, the system has been overwhelmed. It completely shut down Monday.
I heard my heart say, round one, fight!
For Bell, she's a fighter. Instead of caving into worry, the comedian is looking for work and still finding a way to make people laugh.
I'm auditioning for all kinds of stuff. I don't care what it is. Look, America's Next Pet. That's me. I'm a dog. Listen, at this.
Well, Bell was able to file for unemployment after doing some digging on her own. She still doesn't know if she's been approved, but if you look at the numbers here in the state, in the first 4 months of 2020, the state has paid out over $4 billion in unemployment claims. That's historic. Live from Lincoln Park, Tia Ewing, Fox 32 News.
Hey, man, they paid out $5 billion and they ain't give you $1 yet.
Ain't send me $1, a letter, a phone call. They ain't kissed me and told me they love me. Not 6 wings from Harold's with mild sauce. Not a nothing. Nothing.
That's crazy.
And the crazy part is when I did finally talk to somebody, and that was after someone slid me a number on the back end, inbox me like, yo, here's a number to a direct number to a caseworker. Just leave them a message and they'll call you back. And dude actually called me back, but he couldn't really tell me much of anything either. He was like, I can just file the information. I can't tell you how much you may or may not get. I can't tell you if you approved. I can only put the information in there. And from now, you just have to wait again. And I can't backdate it to February when you first were out of work, like they said I could in the paperwork right here on the website. So I don't even know if anything I did was even worth fighting for. Like, great way to get on back on the news, but damn.
Yeah, I was just getting ready to say, man, shout out to the hookup though. You know what I'm saying? Like,
let me tell you, you know what? Black folks are resourceful.
Yes, we are.
We will find a way. That's one thing I can tell y'all. During this pandemic, Black people, we will help. And it ain't really Black people. Black people won't help each other. Niggas will help each other. Let me tell you, niggas do nigga shit. We done wrote this man's number down and passed it around to everybody in the hood and said, call Mr. Johnson, because he gonna get you right.
And so I know he's looking at the phone like, goddamn. I know he looking at the phone like, another one of these niggas. Like,
yeah. and they probably call and say, "Hey, old girl Correy was on the news. She gave me your number. Remember, Shorty? Because we'll mess it up.
You'll fuck it up.
We'll mess it up. Yeah, oh, we gonna fuck it up.
Fuck
But
it up.
niggas are resourceful. That's the only way in 6 weeks that I've been able to even get any kind of resolve. The news didn't help me because nobody called me after that.
Yeah.
Except for niggas calling me saying, "I seen you on the news." Well, nigga, can I get a check? Nigga shit. Niggas nigga. That's what they doing.
Niggas nigga. I tell you, man. Yo,
Yeah.
those of you who are not familiar, I got the homie Corey Bell here on the Spann Report podcast with us, man. Friend of the show, long time friend of the show. We go way back to high school, man. So, this is big for us here at the show. At the Spann Report, look, Corey blowing up. Corey blowing up. We see Corey all over the news, all over Showtime, all over like WGN. Have you been on WGN? You've been on GN.
Yeah.
You done been on Windy City. What's
Live.
Windy City
Yeah,
Live.
Windy City Live.
Been on WGCI. Then been on like True TV.
True TV.
Like God damn. The girl coming up. So real big honor to have her back on the show because this ain't the first time she's been on the Spann Report, man. It's been a couple of years, but yo, man, she's been on the show before. So shout out to Corey Bell, man. Real talk. Let me remind you guys how to get in touch with us over here at the Spann Report podcast. Let your voice be heard while we doing this here. You can hit up the hotline at area code 313-288-0485. That's area code 313-288-0485. Voicemail message. Of course, those messages will be read here live on the show and responded to in kind. You can also email us here, feedback@thespanreport.com. That's feedback@thespanreport.com. We got those emails. I got the email that I'm gonna have to read here later on. But send us those emails, and of course, we'll read those on the show as well. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram on both of those platforms. It's Mr._Spann. And I'm doing some popping and shit. I'm hearing myself popping like a motherfucker.
I was gonna say you can hear it. We just going through it. I'm just going through it.
Yeah. I'm gonna do my spiel and then we're gonna refresh this motherfucker. Goddamn. But go ahead and hit me up on Instagram and Twitter, Mr._Spann. Chop it up with your man Spann throughout the week. Also, leave us a 5-star review on iTunes and on radio. Those 5-star reviews are the ones we get ready here live on the show. We really do appreciate everybody who goes about the business of doing that. It doesn't cost you a dime, just a couple minutes of time to let everybody know why you rock with us over here at the Spann Report Podcast Network. And also, leave us comments on Castbox. Those of you who are listening to the show via Castbox, leave us those comments on Castbox. We go here and respond to you guys as well. Now, let me refresh the damn screen because this cannot be. we cannot go along with this shit right here. Let me see if I can do this real quick. I'm gonna refresh my screen and I'm gonna read right back in it. Hold on just a second.
And I'm a robot till you get back. I'm gonna just do this till he get back. Let me tell y'all something about Spann while he's gone. I don't know if he can hear this. Let me tell y'all something about Spann while he's gone. To hear him be so outspoken now is crazy because in high school you barely even knew. Oh yeah, and he's the nicest person you'd ever want to meet.
Now, see, I don't know if anybody's seen that shit because I don't even know if they saw you talking shit. But anyway, yo, man. But real talk, leave us those iTunes reviews, man. For real, don't leave us nothing less than 5 stars. I mean, you can leave less than 5 stars, but we ain't gonna read your shit. That's some haters,
right?
Shit.
And we're gonna delete it, and we're gonna send you some spam, and we're gonna send some malware to your device.
No, I'm malware. Send them ransomware. Like, all right, you want your shit to work, nigga? Give me some money. Then I'll release your shit. Send them some ransomware.
And we're gonna send some of them killer bees, them hornets. We're gonna send them. Killing some of them hornets.
Have you seen that video of that white dude that's singing with all kind of insects and shit? And he did the murder hornet.
Yeah.
This motherfucker on the ground crying and shit. Talking my arm done froze up. I can't move it. Like, white people crazy, man.
He deserved to die. He deserved to die. He deserved to die.
Hey.
That nigga deserved to die. You said, come here, kill me, do it right here. You went in knowing what the consequences were, and you chose to be a vessel for other people. Your stupid ass deserves to die. They should have let us watch that whole thing play out until he perished. Nobody should have saved him.
I think that's kind of what he does, though. Like, it's not just the murder. Yeah. he did it with like some sort of like was it a snake bite or some shit? Like he allows all the to like sting and bite him and shit. Just to see what the effect of it will be. I'm like, oh, I know he thinks he's being like creative and like he's doing it for like for common knowledge. I don't know. That's just stupid. I believe you.
Spann.
I believe they deadly.
They're called murder bees. Murder hornets. If he don't die, then they are a lie. I don't think they a lie. That nigga should have been dead. They should have let it. They should have arrested him nowhere. Let that nigga fall over. That prove them right. Don't you ever make them out to be liars. Nigga die. Going for it.
Hey, I don't know. I think the murder hornet's getting a bad rap right now. I think they put him out there to be murder hornet. Yeah, now I'm just saying they put him out there to be murder hornets, and so our whole perception of them is skewed. You know what I'm saying? Like they probably just on some regular human shit. You know, why we have to be the murder hornets though? You know what I'm saying? I'm doing about regular murder hornets. Yeah, they like, man,
like killer whales.
But you know what though? You know what's a gangsta ass insect though? The goddamn praying mantis. I done seen a praying mantis like behead a murder hornet. It was crazy. It's crazy.
And they ain't really praying.
No, they
don't need no God in the partner they seen.
I mean, it seems like they're taking grace before they eat, though. You know what I'm saying? That's what it look like. It look like they saying they grace before they eat. That's what it look like.
They but they ain't really praying. They don't know Jesus in the partner they on scene. They ain't never been baptized. They ain't never went down in the water, came up. Don't say they be praying. They ain't Christians. Them mantises are not Christians. Say put your hand together, mantises. Don't say praying mantis. Put your hands together, mantises. That's what they are. Call it how they is, Spann. That's what I'm saying.
I hear you. So, before we get into everything, first of all, I got a couple questions for you, Correy. Now, right now, you're doing this. You're doing like an internet, Instagram live show on the couch with Correy Bell. What was the emphasis to like get that started up? How did you come about with that?
All the other comics in the world are doing online comedy shows, so there really was no room for another damn online comedy show. But I knew that I had to do something in order to stay relevant and to keep my brand there, but stand out from everybody else. Now, doing stuff like Windy City Live, which is a daytime talk show on Channel 7, shameless plug, Monday through Friday at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. You can also catch it on Hulu in the event that you don't get it in Detroit or anywhere else. But I wanted to not only just tell jokes, I wanted to show a couple different layers in the event that it is something else that I may want to do. Yeah. So I just wanted to have the opportunity to still be relevant, still be visible, but do something more than just tell jokes online. Because if I wanted to do that, then I could go onto any of my friends' shows and do that. So I just wanted to provide another approach and show a different side of me. And it's been pretty dope because I've had some amazing people online.
Yeah, I saw that. Like, you had the doctors on there that were talking about the coronavirus, answering questions about the coronavirus that a lot of people have. They were able to come on there and get a lot of those questions answered. I thought that was pretty dope.
Yeah, I've had them on there. I've had Monique on there. She was able to pop in and come on there. Comedian Rodney Perry has been on there. I had the world-renowned sexperts on there. Jet Setting Jasmine and King Noir. Like, I've had a lot of people on there. So it's been pretty cool. I'm satisfied with it.
You had Just Mesh on there last night, right? And she was she was the one who got you in comedy.
Yes, yeah. And so now we're like BFFs.
Yeah, tell us how that happened.
Now you acting like you didn't watch the story. You
didn't watch the story, but they didn't watch last night. I watched the story. I watched the story.
The first thing that we said to you was, to everybody on there, is what you don't do in an interview is ask people how they got started in comedy. That's the most boring goddamn question you can ask. Don't nobody care how I got started. Nobody cares how I got. Nobody. Who gives a damn? Who gives a damn how I got started? But no, the way I got started is I would go to the comedy club and she would dare me to go on stage. Yeah. But guess what? After I say that, nobody gives a fuck.
Okay.
Nobody cares. But I did. She dared me. She would dare me to go on stage, even though I had no desire to be in comedy. And one day she said, if you come back next week, I'm going to put you on stage. And I said, well, bitch, I dare you. And she did. And I went on stage. And when you do something that you love for the very first time, you don't really know that you love it until it's like a light switch. It's like something turns on. It's like a fire.
Mm-hmm.
And you do it a little bit more, and then you do it a little bit more and a little bit more. And then the addiction starts. And then even on the bad days, you still kind of love it. It hurt a little bit, but you still kind of love it. And from that day, I grew to fall in love with the stage.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't left it. I have not left it. It's nothing else that I can really. Well, there's a couple other things that I can see myself doing, especially now during the pandemic. So I'm gonna go ahead and start my OnlyFans page and see if I can go ahead and live out my diamond fetish. But other than that, it ain't really nothing else I can see myself
niggas
doing.
is mad at the OnlyFans pages.
Why?
I don't know. Like, I think they just more upset that like women are actually making money, like, through their own agency or whatever. Like, I saw somebody say this on Twitter. I think it's like they said something to the effect of these niggas is mad at the ladies making money on their OnlyFans pages because they SoundCloud money, like they SoundCloud raps ain't popping off. Like,
right, and they can't control it. That's something else that they can't control. Because even in the strip clubs, it's the men that's in the back that's collecting the money, that's dishing out the money, that's taking, like, it's the men. Women, now that we're in control of it, we are 100% the owner, the proprietor. Like, niggas can't handle that. And go fuck yourself.
Yeah, man. And I stopped going to strip clubs because they was gouging, man. I go to the strip club, you gonna charge me $20 to get another $20? No.
Yeah, that was always crazy. I never understood that, but you have to understand that they do it because there are the majority of people that go, they have no problem with paying it.
Yeah, I'm that's
yeah.
longer my time. I ain't got that kind of money to just throw away no more.
Yeah, who want to spend that kind of money just to go home with their pants stinky? Nobody wants that.
Yeah, Tamara says they're not getting money for their nudes. Yeah, that's true. I don't know, but a dude will see an unsolicited dick pic any damn way. Like I see that on my timeline all the time too. Like they sending a dick out there for free. Like the stock of dick is like down.
Without me even asking for it. And it's like, you ain't even think to shave it, put no lotion on it. No, you just sent it. Now you mad because we don't want to pay for it. We didn't want the free one. And now you going to send me an unsolicited one? If you don't get the ASAP, come on, man. Don't do it.
Indeed. Now, I know, we started off with the, the whole thing with the unemployment. I know the pandemic was like wreaking havoc on you being able to go out to clubs and like perform. So like, other than like just that, like creatively, how has this pandemic kind of like affected how you do your thing, like creatively, like your process?
So for me, I was literally touring 4 days a week, every week, for the last maybe, I don't know, 18 months. Mm-hmm. And then it just came to a screeching halt. Mm-hmm. And then when it came to a complete stop, then the future started to cancel. So I never really allowed panic to set in because I'm one of those people that I've never lived in fear. I don't believe in it. I don't live in it. Because I just understand that what you believe and what you attract is, what you believe is what you attract. Right. And so I've never believed in fear. Fear is fake to me. Mm-hmm. It's literally giving power to something that hasn't even happened yet. You're literally dreaming up something that ain't even. So I don't really fuck with it. But it put me on an alert of like, okay, something's happening. Shit is about to change. What are you going to do? What's your process? And it's like the entire world was learning every day that we're going into something completely new. And financially, I've never worried about it. Mm-hmm. Creatively, it says to me that when the world opens back up, that two things are going to happen for comedians. Number one, we'll all be on a level playing field. We'll all be on a level playing field. Number one, because nobody's going back to the arenas immediately. Nobody's going to go into the Staples Center or nobody's going to where were we at, Motor City, or like nobody's rushing to a 1,500 seater because of that right there, nigga. If you'd have did that while you were sitting next to me, this shit would have been over. This shit would have been over. Now, why would that make me nervous? Why? You know what I'm saying? So now that means that the Mike Epps and the Kevin Harts and the Samores and the Moniques, they now have to come down to what they consider is the Chitlin circuit. So that's like your punchlines and your, so now they have to come down to the 200-seater, where normally somebody like me would be able to just walk in and book it up. But now I'll have to wait. Now I have to wait because they'll use those bigger names to draw the crowds first.
Right.
And so that's the reason that I've always made sure to stay relevant and to stay visible. And then the other thing about that is I get to interact with comics that I never otherwise would have. Like I can get online with Afion Crockett now. I can get online with the Samore now. I can get online with, a Kevin Hart or, Ali Sadiq or, somebody we can meet now because now we're all right here.
Right.
Now, skill level wise, obviously we're not, but we're all on the same playing field because this pandemic and this virus and everything that's going on doesn't give a fuck how funny you are. It doesn't give a damn how much money you have. It doesn't give a damn who you know. It doesn't give a damn how many pictures it doesn't care how many people you've hugged or how many people you fucked over. It doesn't. So right now, everybody's right here. And what you do with this time, will determine where you are when this opens up. Also, everybody's not going to use this time to reinvent a spaceship.
Yeah.
Because also for me, because I'm traveling 4 days a week, every week, and I'm still a mother of 5 and a wife and a grandmother of 1, this gives me a time to be a mom.
Yeah.
And a grandmother and a wife and a sister and a best friend. And I'm baking cakes from scratch, nigga, and I'm cooking tacos and shit. And I done redid my goddamn basement and painting and planting flowers like I'm fucking Maya Angelou. I got all kinds of Betty Crocker bullshit going on in my house, but it gives me a chance to breathe.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful for that, So creatively, I'm good because I'm not one of those people that sit down and write every day. I don't structure write. I don't dedicate a time to writing because every moment of my life, something funny is happening. Every moment. So whenever something funny is happening, I pick my phone up, I jot the idea down, and then I'll come back and I'll build it later. But it's 24 hours a day, nigga. Something funny happening in my house. There's some shit going on upstairs right over my head right now, nigga.
Indeed. Indeed. Now,
right now.
You mentioned though, like, with everyone being on like the same plane right now, especially like with the online comedy shows, like everyone's doing online comedy shows. And then I can remember there was a time where there was a little bit of not so much a beef, but like what would I call it? Like, there was some like there was a difference between stand-up comics and like Instagram comics or like online comics, like and I wonder if because the stand-up comics are, because of the pandemic, having to come to this medium, like is there any like friction because of that between the comics at all?
Here's where the issue lies. You have a bunch. Comedy is a subject, right?
Yeah.
Under the umbrella of comedy, you have so many different genres. You have stand-up, you got sketch comedy, you have improv, you have so many different, and then internet comedy came.
Yeah.
Internet comedy is just sketch comedy online where you have to be funny fast. Now, the problem is it's a new wave of comedy that took off, which is fine. And stand-up comics didn't have an issue with it.
Right.
The issue that we had was not with the stand-up, not just with the stand-up, just with the internet comics, but with the clubs and promoters that attempted to say, "Oh my God, you have 1 million followers on Instagram. You must be funny in real life.
Right.
Let me pay you $1,000 and put you in this comedy club." Well, hold on, sir. They're not a stand-up comic. They're not a stand-up comic. Now you're putting them into a spot where they don't really belong because this is not their area of expertise. If they're not funny within those first 60 seconds, they can snatch that video down if they don't get the amount of likes that they want. Or
Right.
they can redo that video 8 million times. When I'm up on that stage, it ain't no music that can help me. It ain't no graphics that can help me. It ain't another comic that can help me.
Yeah.
It's just me. I can't snatch that shit down. I can't run that joke back. You know? So the issue that we were having, because it's definitely an issue, is that you want to pay me $50 to open up for somebody who has either never stepped on the stage in front of an audience or does it at an open mic, and you want to pay them 10 times as much because you believe that the numbers on their Instagram equates to asses and seats.
Right.
And we've gotten to a place where clubs and promoters are booking asses and seats first, then talent second. Now where we are is you have stand-up comics doing comedy on the internet, but it's not the same as internet comedy because these guys, like you have your Just Hilariouses or your Prince T Dubs or what's my other guy's name? Oh God, he's my favorite. I love him so much and I can't think of his name. But these guys are doing voiceovers and Tony Baker, like you have these guys that are doing that. We're not doing that. We're just doing the same thing we're doing, but we're doing it in a different realm.
Yeah.
Some of us will have to cross over to internet comedy because it's just like going from CD to Sirius satellite radio. It's the new wave. And either you're going to jump on or you're not. But that also doesn't mean that stand-up is going to die because it's people that just love that right now in your face interaction.
Yeah.
So that beef or that friction will always be there. But it's not necessarily I'm pissed off at them. I'm pissed off at the people who thinks that they're better than me and I'm the one who put in the work. And then you get them in there. I open up for them, blow the bitch wide open. Then they come up behind me and they get 2 or 3 laughs, but you pay them $2,000 and I get to walk away with 200. Or they're going to laugh at them just because they have this name and they're not really funny. Or they don't fill up the place. All of the people that's there is there to see me. So that's going to always be a thing. But I think internet comedy shows are always going to be a new thing now. Like you'll have the comedy clubs open, but because of social distancing, if the place holds 300, it'll hold like you'll only be able to sell 125 tickets, space those people out, but then you can sell 500 tickets to view it online like a pay-per-view.
Yeah,
so I think that's just gonna be the new wave.
I was thinking about that because and I actually said something about this on Facebook I want to say like last week, like, and I know like this doesn't apply to everybody in every like sort of entertainment venue, but like I'm surprised that they haven't thought about like maybe putting like virtual reality like cameras in these arenas or in these venues, and then if you want to go but you don't actually want to be there, you can put on a VR headset or something and watch the show via, that way, and they could sell a digital ticket that way. Now, as a performer, though, like
it's shitty. It sucks.
Right.
It sucks. I can't tell if my jokes are going over well because I can't feel the whole purpose of me loving to do the smaller rooms is because I get to, and you've seen me on a few different occasions. You've seen me in the small rooms and you've seen me in the big rooms. I like to get right up in there with you. I like to be able to feel, I like to be able to look in your eyes. I want you to be able to look into mine. I like you. So for me not to have that kind of feeling and that interaction, it's different. It doesn't feel good. I'll do it if I have to, but that ain't the shit I signed up for. So they're not going to get that same feeling either. It'll be like watching a Martin Lawrence stand-up, you so crazy. And not even that, because you won't even hear the laughter of the crowd that was there.
Feedback. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I don't know if I like it.
They got to come up with a way for you to get that feedback. Like, I don't know if it's like flashing lights or something. Like, yeah, they really feeling this shit, Corey.
Right.
So
See
yeah.
a bunch of people in the back.
Now, like you've been doing the comedy thing for a while now. So far, like, what's the biggest lesson you learned, like through all of your travels? Not only just doing like the stand up, like being on the television panels and being allowed to like to have sketch comedy made off of like the comedy that you already doing, stand up. Like, what's the biggest lesson that you've learned so far in like your with the entertainment business so far from your career?
Be careful how you treat people.
Be
very careful how you treat people, even especially the ones that you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Be very careful, and be careful not to treat people the same way that they treat you. And the reason that I say that is because you're going to run into some people in this business, especially as a Black female stand-up comic who's been in the game for only 5 years. Number one, they don't think I know shit. That's number one. Number two, I'm Black and I'm a female, so that's a double negative.
Yeah.
Because comedy is run, or it's dominated by males. Number one.
Yeah.
It's dominated by males. And as a female, and as a Black female, and you're funny, they automatically want to know, why are you so successful? Who the fuck did you sleep with to get in the first 4 years of your career that you have already been on a major TV network, and you've been on Showtime, and you've been on True TV, and you on daytime talk show, and you've been on the radio, and you're touring with Monique, and you have shared the stage with Michael Che from Saturday Night Live, or Gina Yashere. Like, they want to know who you fucking.
Right.
Because you can't be that funny. Or they'll say things like, oh, well, you funny, but you better not be funnier than the person that you opening up for. And it's like, I never want to, when people encounter me, I want to make sure that they leave knowing that who they see on stage is exactly who they see off stage. The reason that I'm so successful in my career is because I'm good to people.
Yeah.
Despite how they treat me, I'm good to people because, again, I believe in energy. So I can't give you no bullshit and then expect for good things to happen to me.
Yeah.
I know that if you're giving me bullshit, oh, you'll get that shit back.
Yeah.
You'll get it back, but I'm going to be good. So I've watched being on the road with Monique, and every time that she would go and do press, when she would go and do TV, she would always take me on TV with her. Like, I didn't have to sit, even as her opener, I wouldn't have to sit in the back and wait for her to come off. It was like, if I'm going to introduce you to the world on stage, I need to introduce you to the world, period. And I'll never forget one time, we may have been in New York, and we show up to the interview, and the guy was like, hey, we only got one chair and one mic. And Monique was like, well, I'm gonna need you to get another chair and another mic because, and I sincerely apologize if you didn't know, but this is Correy Bell. She shares the stage with me. She's going to be doing the interview.
Yeah.
Well, we're not going to have enough room because we don't have any other mics. Now, we're in a huge news station. We don't have any other mics, and there's really nothing else that we can do.
Yeah.
So Monique says, and with a smile, she says, well, I'm going to need for you to let the anchors know that, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to do this interview because it's two of us on the show, and I'm sure that there's another mic in this building somewhere. I don't know what happened, but they came up with another damn chair. They found a chair in this 20-story building and another mic. Or I don't know if they found another mic or we shared a mic or whatever it was, but it was a television show. It was a news station.
Right.
And even through all of that, even with how nasty they were to her, and the looks that they gave me, not the news anchors, but just the people behind the scenes, it was the way that she treated them. Because at the end of the day, they got to sleep with that shit. She doesn't. And I got to remember how I treated the people that I came in contact with.
Yeah.
I got to talk about that shit to my kids when they ask me stories about what happened on the road. I can't be like, oh, this bitch did this and I told that bitch. Like, I can't do that because I got to answer for that. My integrity and my image means a lot to me. It's very, very important. Now, if you catch me cussing a bitch out, know that bitch earned it, okay? Know if I'm doing this, that bitch had that shit coming because I will catch you. But for the most part, when people walk up to me and they say, oh my God, I saw you on, or I remember you, or you're so funny, or you might look like, I always want them, when they leave me, to have a good impression of me. That's very important. So I always, on this road, you treat people, whether they paying you or they paid their last to come see you. Make sure that you're good to people.
That's what's up. That's what's up. And not only that, like, just in like the brief moment that we had a chance to, when we saw Correy here in Detroit last time she was here, we had a chance to go backstage with her and Monique, and like to kind of watch Monique move, you know, amongst the folks, and like real warm, man. Like that's the first thing that kind of came to my mind. I'm like, man, she's real warm, real genuine around people. There were no airs there. You know what I'm saying? And so like I could definitely relate with what you're saying there, like with how you treat people, because not only that, the thing I think people sometimes forget about, not even just so much fame, but like just having some level of notoriety, is that when you're on like when you're at a plane where some people are like kind of looking up and they feel like you're on the pedestal, like they're gonna remember that moment for the rest of their life.
Yes.
You might not remember who the hell they are. They gonna always walk away with that, with you. And so, and I bring this back to an incident I had with Dougie Fresh on a middle college incident. Like we were like extras in a movie for it was a movie called White Boys. I think it came out straight to DVD. But Dougie Fresh and Slick Rick were in the movie. Slick Rick, cool as a fan, putting his chains on all the kids and everything. And Dougie Fresh was just like acting like, you know, an asshole to the kids. Like, bro, you in the Cabrini Green Project at 2:00 in the morning. I don't think you want them problems. You know, like, do you really know where you at right now, man? But that happened 20 some odd years ago. I still remember that to this day. He probably doesn't even remember that shit. So It's always about how you treat people, because they will always carry that shit with them, no matter when your name comes up. Like, oh, that's motherfucker here. Yeah. I guess, nigga. You know. So that's
exactly, because all of the issues that I had before I walked out my door ain't nobody else's issues, ain't nobody else's problems.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I got a message in my inbox after I posted my son's birthday, you know, like happy birthday or whatever. Some lady sent me a message in my Instagram message and said, hey, I saw you in Sam's Club. You're the lady from the commercial, from the Windy City Live, and I saw you on Showtime. Oh my God, I was shopping next to a celebrity. And first of all, the fact that she knew who I was, and I had on a whole goddamn mask, was like, that's the kind of stuff that blows my mind. You know, it's like, it's that kind of stuff. And so even though I don't owe her a damn thing, but yeah, that's me. When people take the time out, and I won't be able to do it for each and every person as I get to another level, but whatever is in my power to do now, I make sure that I do it, because I have to make sure that God and the universe knows how much that I appreciate my gift.
Yeah.
And those are the little jelly beans that he'll drop to say, let's see how much that you appreciate the people who's helping you feed your family. Because I haven't worked since February. February 2nd was the last gig that I had. That was the last time that I got a check. I've been calling the niggas over at unemployment ever since. Do you hear what the fuck I'm saying? I've been calling them ever since. But understand that I have not had one lack, and I've been able to help other people that I've seen that have been hungry, or that have needed a ride, or that may have needed like I've been able to give to other people. So I haven't had any lack, but that's also because I need God and the universe to understand that I'm grateful. And because I show that on a consistent basis, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. I love every single person that you know that sees me, but that's still weird for me, dude. I'm only 5 years in, and I'm real new to this famous shit. Like I don't really do well with it. This lady pulled up on me. I was walking in Walmart, nigga, and I swear to God, I ain't have on no bra, and I had on my what you call them, my pajama pants. I'm out here focusing in the motherfucking titties tucked in my pockets. Okay, I'm out here, dog. I'm out here, right? And that lady pulled up. She was like, "Oh my God, it's Correy Bell," and I was like, "No, it's not," and ran into the motherfucking Walmart, nigga. Like, I don't know how to handle that.
Yeah.
Because I never want any fans. I don't want any fans because fan means fanatic, and I don't want anybody to be fanatic over me. You know what I'm saying? Let's just be family, nigga. I don't know how to handle that shit.
Yeah. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. But like y'all gonna see Correy Bell all over the place real soon, man. Real talk, man. I believe in this family system. I believe in my sister's talent, is what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm saying? And not only that, she's OHMC alumni, and we got to put on for our own, man. We got to put on for our own. So, yo, we about to get into some news real quick.
Okay. All right.
Okay. You see that? Okay. Your boy that came up a little bit.
Look at you with the sound bites. All right,
we try to do a professional over here at the Spann Report Podcast Network.
Got your little stimulus check. All right, I see you.
Hold on. While we talking stimulus, your man Spann don't get stimulus. I'm mad about it. You know what I'm saying?
You already rich. They know you paid. You can't afford. You can't get that, G. You can't get that. You already paid. They can't afford to give you a stim. You don't need to be stimulated. You have been stimulated enough.
See, this is the problem right here.
Let me hold something.
This is the problem right here. Motherfuckers think Spann got money. Spann ain't got no goddamn money. That's why Spann mad about the damn stimulus check. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna put it to you like this, man. How you feel like? I mean, I know I ain't. You know, I'm okay. I'll just say it like that. I'm okay. But how you feel like you gonna give Delta Airlines $5 billion, but you can't give your man Spann $1,200?
Yeah, I think that's whack, because especially if you're an essential worker, if you're still out here working,
I'm working, baby.
I think that everybody should have gotten something. I think everybody should. Why are you giving money to some people and not to other people if everybody's affected one way or another? My husband still has to go out and work.
All while it's matter, man. All while it's matter. And so not only that, I'm also mad because like I had a trip planned to New Orleans later this year, had to cancel that shit. But you think Delta's about to give me my money back for them damn tickets? No, they like, nah, man, we give you credit. Like,
dog.
Nah, nigga, I need my bread back. I can use that for some other shit. You know,
16 flights. 16 round trip flights. 3 of them was out of the country. 3 of them. Jamaica, Cayman Islands. I had to go back to the Cayman Islands, and Aruba. Try that. All work. All of them.
Cancel. You know, man, let me shut the fuck up.
God damn!
I just need to shut the fuck up, man.
Don't do it to me.
My bad.
Fuck your stimulus.
My bad. My bad. You know what? I can't even complain no more. My bad. She got sick. God damn. So no, but
let's jump into some headlines.
Let's jump into some shit. The first story we got here, man, it's kind of some fucked up shit, man. You know, because we got an idiot for president, and he appoints idiots to important positions. But according to Betsy DeVos, and the new regulations that have come down through the Department of Education, Title IX regulations no longer require coaches to report sexual misconduct that happened on their campuses. We're going to read this story here. This comes out of yahoonews.com. It says the U.S. Department of Education, led by Education Secretary Betsy DeVos, announced new Title IX federal regulations that change requirements on who must report sexual assault allegations and how the institutions respond to those complaints. The adjustments outlined in the 2033-page document and set to go into effect August 14th no longer require coaches and other employees at colleges and universities to report allegations to the Title IX office. They also give schools a choice in what standard of proof they'd like to follow, bolster protections for the accused, and require live hearings and cross-examination. So, here's the thing with that, right? Because I know, like, the impetus for a lot of this is that they believe that too many male students were being accused of sexual assault or some sort of sexual harassment on college campuses, and they had no redress. However, the fact that you summarily dismissed like the idea that they had to report these things to the Title IX office is kind of crazy to me, right? Like, yo, it has to go somewhere official. Now, where does it go after this? Like, where does a young lady go if she feels like she's been assaulted or she feels like she's been sexually accosted in any sort of way? Where does she go to report these things if you don't have the office? If you get rid of the office where she used to go to report these sorts of things, why would you even want to get rid of an office like that?
She go to her house. She go to her house. When she canceling shit, go to her house and let her handle it. That's where she need to go. That's where she need to go.
You know what? We need to find out where Betsy DeVos lives. I know
she need to go to Betsy's house.
They got a mansion here in Michigan. I believe it's in Grand Rapids. Yeah, that might have to be the move.
Yeah,
you know, like
only a hoe would cancel that law. Only hoes out here hoeing would do that.
Or if you're someone in Betsy DeVos's case, someone who believes that if a woman was sexually accosted, that she was like kind of asking for it.
Yeah.
And a lot of that is what, brings about this level of contempt for sexual assault victims is that a lot of people, when they talk about sexual assault, they believe that like, well, what was she wearing? Why was she over there at that time? Like, what did she tell that dude? All these sorts of questions start coming up, and it puts all of the onus on the young lady.
And it's all irrelevant. It doesn't matter. Yeah. It doesn't matter. And for someone like her to even fathom, to even think that it's okay to how many pages was that document?
2,033 pages.
This bitch got too much time on her hands is what that says to me. Like, I think it's sick and it's sad. It really, really is. And yeah, I feel sorry for the backlash or how that's going to come back to bite her, because it's definitely going to do that. There's going to be something that's going to happen, and I hate to say that. It's going to be something that's going to be monumental, that's going to come back, and it's going to bite her in the ass. And yeah, I hope she braces herself for it. I hope she's padded.
Well, you know what though, I as much as like it should bite her in the ass, like I get this feeling that for someone like a Betsy DeVos, once Trump is out of office, she's gonna go right back into private life, and no one's really gonna like hold her accountable in any real way. You know what I'm saying? Because what she's doing now isn't necessarily considered an illegal act. She's doing what the powers of the position allow for her to do. But once she's out of that position, like, she's just gonna go right back into regular life, and it's gonna be like, like it was before she was ever Secretary of Education at all. And people are low key probably just gonna forget who the fuck she was until we get someone of competence in the White House to appoint someone of competence in the Department of Education.
That part, yeah. And
to get rid of all of the bullshit that they done implemented in these last 4 years. I think that's really that's the best thing that we can hope for going forward with that. But
we have about 8 years before things even begin to try to balance out. We had about 8 years before we can get back to any sense of what we may be even to start to call normal. So good luck.
But also, like, that was something else I was thinking about. Like, so many things that this administration like kind of does now, like the craziness of a lot of the shit we kind of gloss over now. Like, things that would have been like big ass headlines, big ass like scandals and shit, they become so commonplace that we don't even like roll our eyes, and we're just like, all right, so Trump did some more crooked shit today. And hey, tell them what the weather.
Back to you. Back to you, Ted.
Like, that's just kind of how it is now. Like, it's just that crazy. But get your ass out and vote.
I saw somebody walk past me yesterday in Menards with a Blame China t-shirt on. Blame
China?
Yeah.
Okay. So China.
Not Blame China, Ask China. Ask China t-shirt on.
I was at work, and this dude came outside while we were working, and I'm on a jackhammer, and he stops me on the jackhammer. And I wanted to punch him in his fucking face, but my hand was stuck on the jackhammer. But he's like, it's about 5G, right? It's like the whole thing is 5G.
Don't you start. Don't you start no shit. Don't.
But this is
Don't
like
even get me started, nigga.
this
Don't.
like in the early stages. This was the early stages. Like this is before, and this is actually before it really hit the United States. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is around the time where people were making jokes that black people couldn't get it, right?
Yeah, so this was back in March.
No, this is like February. Like early February.
Yeah.
You know, like, yo, black people don't get that shit, man. Like, they ain't no cases in Africa. We got the melanin, man. That melanin kicking it off. Right? Like, we ain't getting that shit. And then
I made a whole joke about it.
I was making those jokes. I was making those jokes. As a matter of fact, I cracked on the white boys at the job. I'm like, man, you know, y'all need to be scared, man, because we don't get that shit. You know what I'm saying? And you know, lo and behold, it comes to Michigan, and boom, like we have the highest amount of cases, and you know, the shit ain't funny. Yeah. But it's crazy, like the amount of the craziness of what people will believe, because they don't have, like, we don't really have anything else. We want to make sense of it. And that's where a lot of conspiracy theories come from, trying to make sense of some shit. But yeah,
one thing I know about black people.
He was white though. This is a white guy.
Yeah, but here's what I know about black people.
Okay. From
the beginning of time, because this is basically all we had.
Yeah.
We're emotional before we are logical. We always have been. We've always been led by emotion first, logic second. So if you get enough emotional niggas to make enough emotional videos about bullshit, and if it's one of your friends, like Spann, if you'd have came on and put up a video on Facebook with tears in your eyes, working for who you work for, and was telling me like, nigga, I've been down here jackhammering, and now one of my eyes came out, and the boss was telling me, and they don't want me to tell y'all that it's the fact. Like, if it was coming from you, you ain't got no reason to lie to me, nigga. I'm like, oh, I got to tell everybody. I can't believe my friend, because you emotional about it. And you wrong than a motherfucker. Do you hear me? All I need is for enough emotional niggas. Because that's why I have to be careful with my platform. If I take your emotional wrong ass video and then spread it around to my 100,000 people, so that's what happened. I wish the fuck 5G would give me a headache or give me coronavirus, but not give me a good fucking signal. How the fuck I got 3 bars, but I got a headache? What the fuck? What the fuck is we doing?
Oh my God. When I saw those conspiracies coming down, I'm like, hey, bro, like, okay.
No.
Here's the thing, though. I'm like, yo, man. So if it, I'm like, yo, all right, give it. It's 5G. I'm gonna give you this 5G. Detroit ain't got 5G yet. Where all our cases coming from? We ain't got 5G yet. Where all the cases coming from? Well, see, what had happened was, like, once somebody got it, then they passed it on to you, and like I'm like, but you said it came from the 5G though. Like, make it make sense, man.
And the 5G is giving you the symptoms from like radiation from like a cancer patient, right? And then, nigga, I'm not doing this with y'all. Then the killer bees came, the hornets. It's like the Wizard of Oz, nigga. It's like the Wizard of Oz. First, it was the overcast. Did you see that in Chicago?
The cloud.
When the overcast that normally comes right off the lake like it does every morning. When the cold air goes over and they was like, oh shit, they spraying it in the air. And it's only over in Hyde Park where the niggas are. Well, when that didn't kill us, they put up a 5G tower over by Whitney Young. Nigga, that tower has been there. That didn't work, so send in the killer bees. Nigga, this is like the Wizard of Oz. If they'll get the fuck out of here with this bullshit.
Oh my God, I'd have had to unfollow. Like, I love people, man. And I can't, I love people too. I'm not going to unfriend you, but I will unfollow you.
Yeah.
I don't have to see the shit that you talking about all the time. Like,
I can't do it.
I can't do it, man. Like, I love you enough to say, like, all right, before I cuss this nigga out,
let me just go. I love you enough to just.
Let me just go ahead and hit that unfollow button so I don't see shit no more, and we can still maintain some level of respect for one another. Because you a stupid motherfucker in a minute, and I can't.
That's very dumb. In my Kerwin Claiborne voice.
There you go.
Very dumb.
Stupid. You dumb. What was that? Bill Cosby said something. As much as I'm not a fan of Bill Cosby lately, Bill Cosby once said something to Theo that I thought was very motherfucking apropos, and I can't fucking here you go.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. No wonder you get D's and everything.
Yep.
There we go. So yeah, man, that's in the news. Now another thing that's here in the news, man. So Gretchen Whitmer, the governor of Michigan, she's been catching a lot of hell being governor of Michigan, man. These people are mad in the motherfucker that she done shut the state down, and she extended the stay-at-home order to the 28th of this month, right? But one motherfucker so mad that he can't go to Supercuts that he actually threatened to kill the goddamn governor. Some white dude from Detroit. They don't really have a whole lot of those, but we're gonna read this.
Right. So they found that nigga real quick, didn't they? They found that motherfucker immediately. They couldn't even finish the news story. Yes, we're on the scene and we are looking for a white male. Oh, we got that motherfucker? Okay, back to you, Ted. They couldn't even finish the whole breaking news story.
They got him.
Only three of them.
It's only three of them. But well, there's gentrification happening in Detroit. Some of these white people are moving into the hoods. I'm gonna tell y'all this right now. These white people buying up these houses real cheap. They fixing them motherfuckers up, and then they getting y'all asses about to paint. Pay attention, niggas. Pay attention. That's a conspiracy theory for y'all to like really like put your teeth into. But we gonna read this story. This comes out of clickondetroit.com. It says that Detroit man is facing up to 20 years in prison for threatening to kill Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer and Attorney General Dana Nessel. Damn, he wanted the AG too?
Both of them.
God damn. Says while messaging an acquaintance on social media, Robert Sinclair Tesh, 32 of Detroit, sent a social media message to an acquaintance on April 14th that was determined to be a credible threat to kill Whitmer and Nessel, according to authorities. Detroit police arrested him later that day at his home in a 2100 block of Jefferson Avenue, which means his ass stayed downtown. The alleged facts of this case lay out a very disturbing scenario, Wayne County Prosecutor Kim Worthy said. We understand that these times can be stressful and upsetting for many people, but we would not and cannot tolerate threats like these against any public official who are carrying out their duties as efficiently as they can. You can disagree with their positions or their methodology, but you absolutely cannot, as the defendant allegedly acted, or you will be charged criminally. So, yo,
I know what it is. I know what it is. This what happened. God damn. Tomorrow, this what happened. I'm gonna tell you. This what happened. This nigga's his dating profile was getting low because he no longer looked like his profile picture, and he couldn't get none of the hoes that he been getting.
He was getting.
Now, he done fucked up all his dates, okay? Because now he in quarantine. He can't get none of these bitches no more. Now we done fucked up. Now he has got to get his goddamn haircut. Now he around here looking like a hillbilly, like he belong in the country, and now these bitches won't fuck with him.
You know what? He probably should have used the haircut. As a matter of fact, let me pull his picture up so you guys can see this, man. Because he has what your man Spann has been boarding for quite some time. He got this young cul-de-sac look going on. This is him right here.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, he wasn't going to get a haircut. He was going to get hair plugged. He was going to get that Beijing haircut. That is. He can't get his shit filled in.
You know what though? You right. I could see him going for this here. Chances are he probably got a really hairy ass back because that's what they would get. They got to get it from somewhere. Like
yeah.
He looked like he got a really hairy ass back.
Yeah.
Okay. I see
that's what it is.
I'm picking up what you're putting down. But
he looked like a serial killer. He looked like he got people in his floorboard. So they need to investigate this nigga anyway and look up in this house and check his floorboards and the people under the stairs and find out who the fuck else he done killed and probably ate.
I'm tripping. I'm really tripping out though at like the anger that white people have over this. Like
it's not just white people because black people here in Chicago been showing their ass. Here's the thing. When we started laughing at Florida, when they was like, we opening the beaches back up, we like, cut Florida off. They better not get on the plane to come up here. They stupid as hell. Who could be dumber than Florida? Atlanta was like, hold on, bitch, hold my lashes. Here I come. Atlanta opens back up and shit starts hitting the fan. And we said, oh, look at them two dumb motherfuckers. There's possibly nobody dumber than them. And Texas says, wait a minute, we got Spurs. And their governor said, people is dying every day. We'll be fine. Open this bitch back up. Chicago, Our governor said, we not opening shit. The mayor said, we not opening shit. 75 degrees came. Niggas said, you ain't got to open. We going any motherfucking way.
Yeah.
House parties with 100+ people. 87th and the Dan Ryan looked like 1994 with all of the car clubs, looked like 79th and Stony Island. I was embarrassed.
Yeah.
I have never been so embarrassed. And and I feel bad. And I said it before, and I'll say it again. 3 words. Let them die. If you're a consenting adult, you see what the fuck is going on. Fuck the rest of the world. Right here in your city. If you know somebody that's died from it, you know somebody that knows somebody that's died from it, or you just, whatever the fuck it is, and you still out here wilding and going against it, you should not, they should be able to make you sign a waiver, take your name. You should not, if you get sick, you should not be able to go to the hospital. Go your monkey ass home, take care of your food self, or just die, because you don't give a fuck. So why should we go crazy taking care of you if you don't give a fuck anyway? Nigga, they crazy. They crazy.
Me and my wife were talking about this a couple of days ago because she was asking me, like, when do I think things will, like, kind of go back to normal? And I told her, I really feel like by the end of the summer, it's going to be like the coronavirus ain't even a thing, because people are just going to be out like it's not even a thing. Like, they don't even care that, like, there is no such thing as a vaccine right now. They don't even care that, like the precautions that are being put forth, like with the mask and like the social distancing, people are just like, yo, man, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? And I think, like, even when we have these things in place, people are already ignoring them. We already have like sheriffs who are saying they're not going to even enforce these orders at a certain point. So I'm just like, yo, I feel like by the end of the summer, it's almost going to be like, there were no orders, put in place anyway, right? And it's all because people are just like, yo, I just want to get out. I'm tired of cooped up in the house. It's nice outside. Why I gotta be cooped up in the house? All of these things are just kind of roll into a perfect storm of, we gonna see some real fucked up numbers come down the line with people being infected with this, people getting in, people dying from this. We both know people who have passed away from this. Like it's gonna be a thing where, like, people don't believe that fat mean greasy. And until it happens to them in a direct way, they're really just not going to take heed to any of this shit. I posted a story earlier today. Scarface, the rapper Scarface, had COVID-19. He was on MSNBC talking about his trials with COVID-19 because he's also dealing with some other health issues. Like, he's got kidney failure, he's an asthmatic, he's got a lot of shit going on with him. But his thing was, like, not enough people are taking the sickness seriously. And even if you are going to go out and be amongst all the people and everything, like, even if you feel like it's not going to affect you any sort of way, think about the people who may be around you who it could affect in a certain sort of way. Yeah. So that's the thing that I'm, like, more so upset about. Why? Like, when I saw that shit that happened in Chicago on the West Side with that house party, I went the fuck off. And people were like, yo, man, you can't talk about them kids, man. It's these social, the kids have so much, to deal with, socially, and like they used to seeing death, this, and that. I'm like, y'all forget, in the 90s, it was worse in Chicago. It's like, it wasn't like, as much as we talk about how bad it is in Chicago now, it was worse then. And so I'm not really trying to hear.
I'm not buying that shit.
Yeah, I'm not trying to hear this shit about how bad these kids got it. Like, it wasn't worse when we were coming up. When you can go back and you can look at how bad it was, 900 murders in a fucking city back in like 1997 and shit. And then you see 500 murders, and like, yeah, it's fucked up, but it ain't 900.
It ain't 900. And not only that, here's the thing: the people I hate this because the person whose house it is, I know who she is. Guess what? She was a first-line responder. This bitch is working 12 to 16 hours a day, had no idea this is going on in her fucking house because she's so busy out saving lives, but her son is an imbecile.
Yeah.
And, but these people at this party, these 20 to 30-year-olds or older, these are the people that's handling you your food at McDonald's. These are the people that's working at the bank. These are your Walgreens, CVS. These are your people that's working at the grocery stores. These are the people, while, yes, you're in your 20s, so you will probably walk around and be asymptomatic. You're giving shit to the asthmatics. You're giving shit to the older people that's in there shopping. You won't show this. That's why they think they're invincible.
Yeah.
So it ain't really you. We don't give a fuck about you because you're good. But what about everybody? See, people think that they only have to worry about them. It's not you that you have to worry about, dumbass. It's everybody else. And for that reason, come August, September, right around Labor Day, you'll see a whole nother wave of this shit. You'll see a whole nother wave of it. And side note, I know we already an hour and 5 minutes in.
Oh, we good.
But please know, I ain't taking the vaccine. I know, I get it. I'm sorry. I ain't doing it. I know. I ain't doing it, dog. I ain't gonna do it.
Not I ain't gonna do it.
Not even for the bag.
Then last uncle.
I ain't doing it.
Now, why are you skeptic about the possibility of a vaccine?
First of all, it's too new. You can't even figure out how to slow down and fix. You haven't figured out the virus yet.
Mm-hmm.
You haven't figured out the virus yet. So you can't tell me you can figure out the antivirus. You can't tell me you can figure out the vaccine yet. But it's like an iPhone. Everybody will run for the first one. Let me know when y'all work the kinks out, because that bitch gonna malfunction. As soon as them niggas start growing foots out their asses, I'm be like, I told y'all to wait. I told y'all to wait. As soon as they open the world back up, give me a month and a half. Y'all go get all that dirty, filthy air out there first. I don't want that air. I'm gonna wait. I'm good.
Now you know what? I did a poll on the show a few weeks ago, and we were talking about the possibility of a vaccine, right? Just a theoretical possibility. Like if they came out with a vaccine, like they had the vaccine available, would people take it? And the vast majority of people were saying that they wouldn't. And truthfully speaking, I was shocked by those numbers because like most of the people that I saw who were talking about it were on the same wavelength that you were like, yo, they got to figure it out, this and the other. And the thinking that I had when I came up with the poll was, yo, they didn't figure that out. The vaccine is available. Would you take it? And people were just like, well, yeah, if you say it that way, yeah. But
no.
But in the grand scheme of the most people like are very skeptical. And
my doctor, and you saw I was on with my doctor. She's been my doctor for over 25 years.
Yeah.
She's my children's doctor. She's my grandson. Like I trust this woman with my life.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, when the vaccine comes out, baby, you know I love you, Dr. Green. I ain't taking it. I don't want it. I don't take the flu vaccine.
Why not?
I don't really fuck with vaccines, period. I'm not a fan of them. I've watched what they've done to children that I know personally. I've watched my best friend who has two sons who vaccinated one way and vaccinated one at a different way. And now one of them has signs of autism and one of them is perfectly fine. I've watched that on more than one occasion. I've watched these vaccines and what they do. And I don't even know that if it's the vaccine or the clusters in which they give it to them, or maybe if it's because it's too early at the time, or do they give them too many at a time? But it's something about them that I'm not comfortable with.
Mm-hmm.
That so I ain't comfortable with the old shit. You ain't finna come out with no new footwork, and fuck y'all. Give me some ginger ale, some tussin, and them Ritz, them saltine crackers, nigga, and 227 or Martin, 7 days. Give me some Vicks Vapor Rub, nigga. I'm good. It worked for my ancestors. It'll work for me.
I hear you. I'm just saying, like, I'm glad that I don't have polio right now because there was a polio vaccine available when I was coming up. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the thing.
We wasn't getting polio though. We didn't need that vaccine.
I'm saying, like, there was a thing, like polio was a thing. They came out with a vaccine for polio. You ain't seen polio no more. Then,
right, but do you think that's why because of the vaccine, or do you think
I don't know? I'm one who I will defer to the people who know a lot more than I do about the subject.
Right.
So that's just where I'm at with it. And so, like, if my doctor told me, like, yo, Spann, listen, man, you've been putting on a little weight. I'm gonna need you to do this here, this, that, and the other. go ahead and take care of that because you like pre-diabetic or something. You know what, Doc? You're right. I have been putting on a little weight, and I do feel a little funny. I'm going ahead and take your advice because this is what you do. You know what I'm saying? And like that's just where I'm at with it. Like, and I get like it's not as if like, and I say this because I talked about this on the show. I get like the skepticism that a lot of Black folks have because we've had so much history with the medical field experimenting on us. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. I get the skepticism that a lot of have. We had another one of our OHMC alumni passed away recently. And he was talking about like right before he passed away, he was talking about some of the things he was dealing with his heart. And he talked about getting the flu shot. And some of our classmates was talking about like, yo, man, don't get the flu shot. You know, why would he said he had his doctor told him to get the flu shot, and people like, no, why did you take that? Why did you let him do that? And when he passed, one of the first things that kind of came up was it was that goddamn flu shot.
And you don't know that. Niggas will always.
But we found out later that that's not what it was. And so my thing was like, yo, man, and even when we was having that conversation, and he was telling us like, yo, man, I took the flu shot, and everybody was telling, I'm like, hey, man, listen to your doctor. Because your doctor knows more about your health than any of these other niggas do. Because he with you. So I guess like with me, I'm just like, you know what? I will defer to the experts on some shit that I don't know about.
Yeah. You know what? I think also for me, it's not necessarily about that. It's also about me learning more about what I'm putting in my body.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you've also noticed that niggas are everybody is Dr. Sebi now. There's so much CMOS being passed around this motherfucking country.
You got enough alkaline water?
Like, nigga, where did y'all get all this CMOS? Where did it go? Ain't shit left in Jamaica. And how the fuck y'all getting here? How
you got alkaline water? You got your gallons of alkaline water in the house?
Right. No, we don't do alkaline water. We do spring water. Alkaline.
Okay.
See. Now you got to see. You fucked up. You can't do it. You can't do it. That ain't it. But I watched. So I have, because of course I have a friend. Everybody has one.
Yeah.
Everybody has one that is, dead set on, following the great doctor and, learning about the herbs and what you put in your body. Mm-hmm. While I do not agree with all of the crazy shit that he says, and it might be a lot of ignorance on my part because I don't study the shit. Yeah. There are certain things that I have followed that I have. You leaving, Evan? No, you need the remote. Oh no, you can just put it right here. There are a lot of things that I have been following that I did notice that have been making a change on my body. Mm-hmm. Like one of the things that because we never paid attention to, I noticed that being out as a performer, and everybody that knows me knows that whenever you hire me to do a show and you ask me for my rider, the one thing that you'll always see on there is a cheese tray, because I'm a fat bitch that like cheese. Oh, I like all the cheeses. I don't give a fuck what kind of cheese. You can cube it, you can slice it, you can shred that shit. Just put it on the tray, make it real pretty. You actually ain't even got to make it pretty. Take all of the shit and just drop the bag on the tray and put the shit in my room and run away. I love cheese. But what I failed to realize is the cheese was creating mucus and it was starting to cover my vocal cords. So when I was on stage, I couldn't project, but I didn't believe it because the nigga that was trying to tell it to me was 300 pounds. And I'm like, nigga, I'm not listening to you because you ain't healthy. Why the fuck would I let you tell me the shit? Then Monique told me, and I halfway listened to her, but then because she's vegan. So I'm like, oh, you gonna tell me what you want me to hear because you vegan, so you don't even eat cheese. Right. But then I listened to him and I watched him break it down for me. And one day I was on stage and I could barely get anything out. And I had sat in that back room right before I went out, nigga, and I had a block of sharp cheddar cheese. It was I don't know where the fuck they got this cheese.
Sharp cheddar? That was your shit?
Oh, my nigga. Oh, sharp cheddar, nigga. It was the oh, when my husband makes a good pan of macaroni and cheese, as he's cutting that shit up, I will, every time he turns his back, I go steal a piece out the fucking pan. God. Yes, I will.
Okay.
But I also, he made sense when he said, who told us that the milk from the cow was safe? will drink the milk from a cow, but not from another human. If your daughter said, here, take some of this breast milk and put it in your cereal, you would look at her like she was crazy. So the human milk ain't safe, but the cow's milk is safe. Who made the cow safe? See, look, my girl says she likes sharp. I love a good.
I'm not knocking sharp cheddar. Like real talk, I ain't knocking. I'm a cheese motherfucker myself. So like, there's this thing. Like I like my pizzas with like extra cheese on them. Give me if it ain't no extra cheese on the pizza, I don't want it. Like get that little shit away from me. I like a cheesy ass pizza. My wife, not so much.
Yeah, but it's not. We can't do that. It's fucking us up, G. And I love cheese. But that's not
cheese that worked the other day, man. Like it was like getting a nigga through. It was getting a nigga through.
But guess what? In the event that you fucked around and got that virus with the mucus that'll be in your lungs, that shit will instantly take you out because it's already built up in there.
Man, look
that's
at
what I'm saying.
Look at all these damn sharp cheddar like
Julius, that's what I'm
all these sharp cheddar cosigns though.
Come on with it. Sharp is the shit. Come on, Julius.
The sharp cheddar like mafia that came through.
Sharp is so funky. It's amazing. It does amazing. It's sent from God, I thought. But now I know it's straight from the devil, just like everything else we love. Like hoes and money. It's all from the devil. Hoes, money, and sharp cheddar cheese all come from hell. Okay, that's why we can't. That's why we love it. Ice cream.
Listen,
we love it.
Hey, y'all forgot we was talking about Gretchen Whitmer, didn't y'all?
Man, fuck Gretchen.
We ain't talking about Gretchen no more. We just on some other shit, man. We on some other shit, man. But that's why we love.
Yeah, my bad.
Man. No, real talk. I'm right there with you. That was the end of the news. We ain't got no more news. Fuck the news, man. We going to some other shit, man. We got some other shit.
In blue blazes is going on out here? I could just say blue blazes.
All right. It is Blue Blazers time here at the Spann Report podcast, man. And our first story here in Blue Blazers, man, we got some nigga that like faked it till he made it, but he made it in the wrong motherfucking way, man. So y'all, if you any of you watch, loving hip hop like your man Spann, I'm an avid watcher of all the trash TV. You are familiar with the dude named Arkansas Mo. Now, Arkansas Mo is the dude who was engaged at one point with Carly Red on Loving Hip Hop Atlanta. Well, apparently Arkansas Mo found his way into like $2 million in federal dollars, like $2 million in federal money through the small business loan program. Nigga been living high off the hog on that money, man. He ain't spent nothing on no damn payroll, but he been out here splurging himself on some luxury items. So we gonna get the story here out of WSB TV in Atlanta. As a matter of fact, let me pull this up so y'all can watch this with your boy. Let me pull this up real quick. Let's see what this nigga talking about. Wait, no, not that. There we go. All right. So here we go.
We wanted to make sure you didn't miss it. A cast member of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta is now accused of taking federal money meant to pay employees, spending it on himself. It's the top story on our website. The FBI says Maurice Fain, known as Arkansas Mo, applied for a $2 million loan from the Paycheck Protection Program. He used more than $1 million to buy expensive jewelry, a Rolex, also to pay for child support. The Justice Department says Fain is facing federal fraud charges now.
All right. So, first things first, man. As much as I'm clowning this nigga, the nigga did spend $40,000 in child support. You know what I'm saying? The nigga
get off his back. Cut him a little slack.
The nigga did pay his child support, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to cut him some slack on that. But one of the things that made me think about, though, this is one of the lessons that I learned at the middle college.
Keeping you ahead of a case that everybody is talking.
Shut the fuck up. Thank you. All right. Now, but one of the lessons we did learn at the middle college was faking it till you make it. Shout out to Mr. Jones, man. I love that man.
Yes, sir.
But, fake it till you make it. This motherfucker was faking being a hip hop mogul with federal dollars, man. This motherfucker bought him a Rolex. He bought him a Rolls Royce Wraith. He bought him a diamond ring. He bought himself some bracelets. He spent $40,000 on his kids. He paid his kids. He made sure he took care of the kids. Gotta give him a little props for that.
And one of them baby mamas told on that nigga.
You think that's what it was?
One of them bitches told. You know what? because she took care of the kids and didn't give her dusty ass nothing. Or one of the baby mamas got more than one of the other baby mamas. Something happened, and I'd be willing to bet my stimulus check that one of them bitches told. I guarantee you.
I'm gonna tell you who I think told, and I don't think it was baby mamas. I think it was Carly Red. Carly Red, a messy motherfucker, man. If you watch this show, if you watch Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, you know Carly Red is always in the middle of some shit. Like, I really feel like Carly Red would have on the low called on this nigga because she mad at him. The whole like engagement thing didn't really come through. You know what I'm saying? Like, she felt like this nigga was using her, you know, to be on the show and everything. I really feel like if anybody told on this nigga, it might have been Carly Red. I don't put it past her. I don't put it past her. She messy as hell, man. She messy as hell. Somebody told. Somebody, you know what though? It's Fed money though. I think they was watching that kind of money. They gave this nigga $2 million. They might have. Yeah. That's Fed money. Like you can't be out here fucking off Fed money, man.
Yeah. If he just went to Walmart, bought them couple of TVs, like he wanted to, like he should
get a couple flat screens, man. That's all you need.
He shouldn't have paid that child support. That's what he should have did. Like what he should have did. Because they like, nigga, where the fuck you get that from?
Nigga, you was in arrears for 3 years. All of a sudden you done paid everything.
Right. Oh yeah, no.
Yeah, man.
That ain't a business.
Yeah, man. Now, another story that we got here in Blue Blazers. This is actually kind of fucked up, man. And I saw you going off on this earlier this week. Boosie Badass faces backlash after claiming he got a grown woman to give his underage son oral sex. So there's video of this. As a matter, let me pull this video up of this nigga because
I hate him so much.
Yeah, we gonna talk about it, but let me pull this video up because yeah, I'm really like kind of floored by
flabbergasted.
I'm kind of floored by a lot of this shit because real talk, I don't understand the fascination that niggas had with him. So yeah, let me pull that back up. I don't know why this thing keeps closing all the way out. I don't want to do it like that. All right, here we go. Let me pull this up. I'm actually getting this off of your Facebook. Here we go. Check it out.
Get out here. I'm training them boys right. Ask in them my nephew. Ask in them. Ask my son. Yeah. They were 12, 13. They got hit. Yeah. That's how it's supposed to be. Yeah. Yeah, I got my son fixed up. You right. Yes, a grown woman. Grown, super grown. Super grown. Check the ass out. Checked all my nephews out. Super grown. Is she grown? She checked me out. I know what the fuck she did to him. She checked me out there. I'm getting them prepared. My son get out here. I'm training them boys right.
All right. So yeah, Boosie is on social media telling the world that he's getting his son, not only just his son, but his nephews checked out right. One of the things that like jumped out at me immediately was the fact that like this was the same nigga who was out here talking cash shit about Dwayne Wade being accepting of his child gender identity and telling him like he's doing too much, man. You going too far, D Wade, man. You going too far, D Wade. You gonna get his dick cut out. Now, mind you, the Wades have not said anything about having like gender reassignment surgery with Zaya. They haven't said anything about having their genitals cut off or anything else like that. But that was immediately what this motherfucker went to when he thought about Zaya being able to live as the person they wanted to be. And here you got this dude talking about, yeah, I went on ahead and got my son statutorily raped, and my nephews too. I'm gonna tell you all about it on social media. Now I know this had you upset on social. I know this like this.
You first of all, and don't forget the fact that Boosie said also about D Wade. That boy is 14. Mm-hmm. He ain't even old enough to make them kind of decisions. Mm-hmm. He's not mature enough to make them kind of decisions. Boosie, the only reason why niggas are infatuated with him, it's not because he has talent, because he doesn't. We've all seen his raps. They trash. We've seen it. It's because he's a clown. He's a circus monkey who jumps around, and they watch this nigga. And because the world lets him do what he wants to do, they're laughing at him and not with him, period. But when I saw it, because I also saw right before I watched that video, I watched him do an ad, because it's on Instagram, on his Instagram page. He's also doing an advertisement for lean. So somebody came out with a new purple lean, and he had the bottle of lean and pouring it into the Sprite and showing you how the lean mix with the Sprite, and you gotta go get it, and this delay. So he's a clown ass nigga, first of all. But when I watched this, it made my blood boil, because those are babies. Those are babies. And for you to think that that was okay, because that's how it's supposed to be, it's sick, it's twisted, it's rape, it's molestation. 12, 13, that's molestation. For you to do that not only to your sons, but also to your nephews, their mothers and your sisters or brothers are also to blame for that. But because the nigga got a little money and a little clout, you let motherfuckers do whatever they want to with your children. And then I asked the question, would it be okay for those same sisters of yours to take your daughters and have a man to do that to your 12 and 13-year-old daughters? Because here's one thing that I know when it comes to shit like this, especially in the Black community, it's always a double standard. It's always a double standard. We'll protect our daughters, but we'll make our sons the predators. Always. Not all of us, but when it comes to things, like, it's okay for that, but not my baby, not my girls. My girl, we got to protect our girls, but we got to make our sons men. And it's like, now you're creating the same predators that you're trying to protect your daughters from. You know what I'm saying? So, and I think what was more disturbing for me, because here's the thing, truth be told, I don't expect anything less from a nigga like Boosie. So him doing it, that don't surprise me. I expect that kind of clown, coon, crazy shit from him. What surprised me was how many niggas that I know had the same mindset as him. That's what surprised me. That's what was disturbing to me. That's what bothered me, is how many niggas was like, oh, that's old news. Oh, it ain't nothing to see here. Oh, that's, you know, that, I mean, those are boys. And that was, and it was like, are y'all kidding me? I don't give a fuck if they were boys, if they were girls, if they were hermaphrodites. Those are 12 and 13-year-old children. And then for you to brag to say, now, because they kept saying, well, you was a teenage mother, you was having sex at 16. Yes, but I was having sex with another 16-year-old boy. My parents didn't go and find some grown-ass man to come and rape me. And that's the and then slept with that same adult. Now, what kind of sick-ass shit is that? That nigga's sick. And anybody that thinks that that's okay, there's nobody that on this earth that can spin that and tell me in any way that that shit is cool. Nobody.
One of the things that, like, when I started seeing it, like, kind of come down my timeline, one of the first things I was thinking, like, this nigga said some old dumb shit, like, this some new shit.
Right. What everybody kept saying, what he do now?
I'm like, this, because I had heard him refer to this before, right? Like, this had happened a couple months ago where I heard him kind of refer to this before. So I'm like, wait, is this something new? And then they were like, yeah, he alluded to it before, but now he's basically admitting to it now. And I'm like, okay. So a couple things with Boosie and why, like, some people like Boosie saying these sorts of things, and or later they don't see such a big deal as to what Boosie said. Some of them niggas identify with Boosie. Like, we know so many niggas who identify with a nigga like Boosie, and so when they see a guy like Boosie saying these things, they don't see anything wrong with it because they grew up and they have the same sort of mentality that Boosie has. So when he's out here, a nigga like Boosie, who they look at as a nigga who made it, right?
Yeah.
Here's a nigga that look like me. Here's a nigga who's lived a life like me, who's made it. He's famous, he's got money, and he's saying the same shit that I've been saying. That's real.
Yep, that's confirmation.
And so they own that shit. Like, yo, he's confirming everything I said. Like, this is what it's like in, you know, where I'm from, this and the other, right? So you got that. But then there's also the point where, like, there's the double standard as to how we treat our girls and how we treat our young men. And one of the things we've been talking about here on the show is, like, we never talk to young men about consent. We never have those real conversations. Like, a lot of young men don't have. We have the conversation about how a young lady is supposed to purport herself when she's in a situation with men, or we have the conversation with, you know, like, don't put yourself in a position to be in X, Y, and Z situation. Like, don't do that. But when a young man does these things, like, there isn't the level of concern made is like boys being boys, right? So with Boosie telling us that his sons, he did this for his sons, a lot of young men are looking at this, and a lot of older guys are looking at this is like, this is just a rite of passage, right? Mm-hmm. This is just something you do as a man. Like, you gotta get your dick sucked, man. Like, that's kind of what it is, man. This is where you go. Your manhood is tied to your sexual prowess, so to speak, to a lot of guys. And a young man like 12 or a young boy, 12 or 13 years old, he doesn't understand that shit at all. He's only doing what he's told at the moment. And, you know, there's where that confusion comes, because now his idea of sexuality or sensuality or romance or whatever it is skewed from here on out because of this sort of interaction with this woman at this time.
Yeah.
And so, like, these are the guys who grew up and they think that this is just supposed to happen. It's supposed to happen this way. And that's where that conversation about consent never really happens. It never really happens because, yo, my uncle said this is what I'm supposed to do. You're supposed to suck my dick, and that's what it is.
Exactly.
And that's what they grow up with. And so,
and that's what they pass on.
And so, like, it also kind of speaks to the idea that young men can't be raped. You know, we have this idea that, like, yo, young girls being taken advantage of. You know, there's that idea that, like, yo, there's always this older dude manipulating the young girl, like, to take what he wants from her, this, that, and the other. We never really had that conversation of, you know, older men facilitating sexual, you know, encounters with older people for young men. We don't have these conversations. And so this is how you get dudes now talking about some, well, like, that ain't rape. Like, cause his dick got hard. Like, nah, like, yo, he wasn't old enough to consent. The same way your daughter wasn't old enough to consent, he wasn't either. But you're looking at it totally different because you thought that was okay. Like, and there's that double standard that we always deal with when it comes to, like, rape culture. You know, like that double standard is one that we, like, I talk about it a lot here on the show, but that double standard is something that we definitely need to, like, kind of drill into the heads of not only, like, some of the older niggas, but definitely some of the younger guys coming up behind us. Like, yo, man, you don't have to do this. This is required of you to become a man. And so, yeah, man, when I saw it was Boosie, I'm like, I never really understood the fascination with Boosie. Like, like, I just never really understood it. Like, niggas was out here like, free Boosie. I'm like, who the fuck is Boosie and why do we need to free him? Like, why do we need to free him? And now I'm like, hey, lock Boosie up. You know what I'm saying?
Put that nigga back where we
need to put that nigga back in there, man.
Put him back.
It's crazy.
Like, it's so many other niggas that I would free. Like, it's so many niggas that I can think of. As a matter of fact, if y'all could, it's so many niggas. It's so, I'm not even gonna start naming them niggas, but I know some niggas that I would trade Boosie in a minute. 2 of my serial killers. 2 of them. If we could dig Jeffrey Dahmer back up, bring him back. He moved quietly. People he killed, he was very quiet with them. We didn't even see that nigga.
When somebody in prison, like they killed Jeffrey Dahmer, like, like
they
killed that nigga.
Yeah, they killed him.
But yeah, man.
But yeah, so it was, like I said, it wasn't the fact that Boosie said it or that it came from him that surprised me. It was the other niggas around that you think you know a nigga until you don't. And I celebrated my son's 13th birthday last night, and I just can't even fathom or imagine my husband, taking my baby. Like I'm like, it don't register. I just, that shit don't register with me. So, but yeah, that nigga is a clown. So
yeah, that nigga.
That's that.
Lock up Boosie. I should have named the episode that. Lock up Boosie.
Lock that nigga up.
For real.
Sit him next to Kels.
And I think he's right now like dealing with some shit. I think they might have like tried to like put the wheels in motion to get this nigga locked up because he's openly admitting to committing, like facilitating statutory rape. That's the other part about the whole thing. Like we talk about gangsters, right? And we talk about how gangsters move. We talk about how like criminals move. And a lot of times we give the kids shit because they tell on themselves through social media. Like, I'm selling weed. Here's all the weed I got. I got money. Here's all the money I got. And it's all over Instagram. It's all over Facebook, this, that, and the other. Here's an old nigga telling y'all on social media, yo, I facilitate raping kids.
But he's not the only one. And the problem that I believe that him and a lot of the shit that goes on has, again, I'm gonna go right back to it, has a lot to do with what they're putting in their body. The chemicals that they're putting in their body has a lot to do with the actions that we're getting from a lot of these people, both famous and not famous. A lot of the people that's out here killing each other. A lot of these, shoot. We had a guy in Chicago on the railroad tracks, young guy in his 20s, on the train tracks, on the Dan Ryan for about 6 hours, ass naked, before he stabbed himself, stabbed and killed himself.
Wow.
And everybody had the nerve to be mad at the police, talking about y'all didn't do enough. Well, exactly what did you want them to do? What did you want them to do? I watched a girl who was the friend of my niece. This little girl had to be about 22, 23. Last week, she had a baby back in January. About 2 weeks ago, the baby died. I don't know what happened to the baby. I just know that she went live from the hospital when they told her that the baby died. Why are you going live on Facebook to scream into the phone to tell everybody that your baby dead? And the next post I saw was, this man got me drowsy as hell. The chemicals that these people are putting into their body and the lack of mental health, the lack of attention that we pay to it, it says a lot about what's going on right now. A lot about it.
Not only the chemicals though, right? But just in talking about social media, like, and the need to broadcast everything. Like everything is documented now. Like you can't people broadcast themselves having sex. People broadcast themselves committing crimes. People broadcast themselves mourning.
Getting killed.
Yeah, even getting killed.
Getting killed.
Like the first thing we do is we run to social media, and there's going to be studies done about this. I'm sure of it. Some years down the line, we're going to see like the effects that social media has had on our brains, to where we feel like the first thing we need to do when anything happens to us is to tell social media.
Yep.
And like I remember because this is like kind of early on like the Facebook stuff, but I remember like not necessarily understanding. Like I would say something on social media. I might have just like announcing something that happened to me. And I remember my aunt calling me one time, and she was like, "I'm glad that happened for you, but damn, I couldn't get a phone call."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I had to find out with everybody else.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like it is.
And that was my excuse. My excuse was, well, it was quicker to tell everybody. This way than to make one. But now it's impersonal. Yeah. Now people and the people that really, really, really do know you, they feeling like there's that alienation with like, yo, now I'm just like everybody else. Everybody else. And
it's gonna be weird when we start seeing the studies come out like after some time, because like we grew up in a time where there wasn't any social media. We were there before there was social media. We were in the beginning stages of it, and now we're kind of immersed in it. But there's a generation of kids who have come up, and this always been there.
Yeah,
always
don't know nothing different.
Don't
My
know
grandson was born with an iPad in his hand.
Exactly.
Don't know nothing different.
Exactly.
We just went to our friend's funeral on Facebook.
On Facebook.
We went to his funeral. What in the? We went to his.
But you know what?
That is unheard of.
But you know what though, and I was talking with my wife about this too, right? Because like I remember years ago, my grandfather passed away, right? And we were at his funeral, and I remember some relatives from like Las Vegas came to the funeral, and they were taking pictures, like posing next to the casket and shit, right? And I was heated.
Yeah.
I was heated. I'm like, what the fuck are y'all doing? Where did y'all get that shit from? You know what I'm saying? Like, why y'all taking pictures, this and the other? And they would, at the time, they were like, yo, everybody from the family in Las Vegas couldn't make it here. So we wanted to make sure that they could at least see some of, you know, the service or whatever. And their way of doing that was to take pictures. At the time, I didn't understand it. But then now we're looking at our friend passing away, and
we looked at him.
And the only way we could be there was through somebody pulling out their phone and recording it for us live so that we could be a part of that, you know, that service. And as much as we would have liked to be there, we were grateful for the, you know, the access to be there, even though we couldn't be there physically. So it's like, it's kind of weird, like
it's
how
catch-22. Yeah, it is.
It's kind of weird how that plays out. But yeah, man, it's some wild times, man, for real. But definitely wild times, man. But yo, that's been in Blue Blazers. But we got one more story here in Blue Blazers. Are you familiar with Candace Owens and Brandon Tatum?
I am.
Okay, so the Black conservatives are upset with Brandon Tatum and Candace Owens, and the Hoteps are also upset with Brandon Tatum and Candace Owens. As a matter of fact, because it's the Hoteps being mad at them, we got this here. In the Black community, pseudo-consciously based offenses are considered especially heinous. Beyond right, the dedicated misogynists who perpetuate frauds are members of an elite squad known as a special Hotep unit. These are their stories. All right. Special Hotep.
I do this with you. Why do I do this with you? Why?
Oh, Hoteps is mad at Candace Owens and Candace Owens and Brandon Tatum. Mostly Brandon Tatum though, right? So over the week, I've seen people. This shit has been coming out on my timeline this week. Brandon Tatum put out a video where he said he was putting out the facts of the Ahmaud Arbery case, right? Ahmaud Arbery, we know, was gunned down by two white dudes in Georgia. They accused him of being a burglary suspect. They confronted him while he was out running. We know that he was killed by these two dudes out on the road. Basically a modern day lynching. Now, Brandon Tatum is one who is he's been a frequent talking head on Fox News. He, along with Candace Owens, have both been out putting out statements that they believe that Ahmaud Arbery was a burglary suspect, like he was actually burglarizing a home that was being built. He didn't take shit, but they've been putting that out there. And Brandon Tatum put out a video talking about him. I'm waiting for the facts. He put a lot of his opinion as a former police officer, because he is a former cop. He put his opinion out there that these are the facts of the case, and that black folks, we way too emotional. We jump out on a limb, and we got to wait for all the facts to come out. Well, the Black conservatives and the Hoteps are like, man, I don't know, man. You off on one on this one. You off on one. Like, hey, like, and when the Hoteps are looking at you like, hey, man, we don't know about you on this. You might have some problems.
You might have some issues.
And so,
yes,
so this nigga was on Brandon Tatum was on a conference call, or better yet, like a Zoom presentation. I don't really know what they was doing, but they was having a conference call, and he got into it with a nigga named Hotep Jesus.
Out of all of the niggas you can get into it with,
He got into
you
it.
found that one. Jesus has found you.
He got into it with Hotep Jesus. As a matter of fact, he threatened to beat the shit out of Hotep Jesus. So Fox News.
That ain't gonna get you in the black heaven. I tell you that.
We got the video though. I'm gonna pull this video up so we can watch this here, man. He was mad.
Threatened black Jesus.
He was mad than a motherfucker, man. We're gonna pull this right on up.
Wow.
Check this out.
You can't do that.
Check this out.
Does not why mention it? Because it is irrelevant. It is ironic. It is ironic. No, it's not. It's ironic that all of these cases that we see, people are involved in criminal activity. It's never, he said it's never a case where a person that's just doing nothing is just gunned down. All these people have an extensive criminal history. Why is that important? Do you not think that's strange?
So no, just because you
had a criminal past doesn't mean that you deserve to live your life. It's funny because that is relevant in the case that's at play.
You know, here's the thing.
I gotta go.
They're quick to run and grab that talking point of Biden and Hillary Clinton. You know, created the
I'm gone, man.
crime bill. They created the crime bill.
This nigga I've ever seen in my life.
They created the crime bill.
I see you in person.
They created the crime bill.
What you said. I'm done, bro. You a fake nigga. I appreciate it. Fake, bro. I'm gonna expose you to everybody. When I see you, nigga, it's gonna be on. I want you to know that. Because you call me on the phone and you saying all this, and then you get on the live stream and you playing this shit. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Is that black on black crime? Is that black on black crime?
You's a bitch. I told you. Everybody on your live stream know you's a bitch, and when I see you, I'm whooping your ass. Everybody got your live. I like it. You want to be hood, nigga? You want to be hood? You on the phone talking shit to me, and you call me? You saying you apologize? Yeah, nigga.
I never apologized.
You apologize?
I never
apologized. You didn't apologize. Nobody to you, nigga.
I never apologized. What I said was.
Bitch, nigga.
That's what I said.
Yes, sir. Let's wrap this up. All right, I appreciate everybody.
All right.
That's not how you get into heaven.
Yeah. So check this out, y'all. Did he just fuck up the church's money?
Here's the thing. I don't give a fuck what's going on. I'm not letting nobody. If Boosie getting his son's dick sucked did not get me that, there's absolutely nobody and nothing that could get me that upset. It ain't gonna happen. It's not going to happen. That nigga got way too. I don't give a fuck what's going on. I ain't never that mad.
Yeah. The reason why, I even brought this up, because like I said, I saw the video of him supposedly, and he gonna give y'all the facts on the Ahmaud Arbery case. And the funny thing about it was, I saw this coming down the timeline. A few niggas I know was sharing this shit, y'all jumping the gun on this one. And I already knew it was gonna be a bullshit, video, because I was familiar with who Brandon Tatum was. And Brandon Tatum also did a video where he talked about black men and why they date white women or why they prefer white women. And one of the things that jumped out at me when he did that video was he said that white women became the prototype of the kind of woman that he wanted, because white women had both of their parents, and white women already knew how to eat appropriately. They had healthy diets and shit, as if white people had monopolies on this shit, right? And so I thought it was be careful with who you elevate. Because I saw so many people sharing that fucking video of him talking about Ahmaud Arbery. I'm like, hey man, there's a reason why he's saying this sort of shit. He gets paid to say this sort of shit.
Yeah.
I want y'all to be wary of some of these people, because a person like Brandon Tatum, a person like Candace Owens, they got paid by being the black faces to white supremacist talking points. And white people, when they say something isn't racist, a lot of times the reason why they can say something isn't racist is because they can point to a black person who will echo the same sentiment.
Right.
Brandon Tatum and Candace Owens, both, because what was that? Candace Owens was also she got like kicked off of Twitter for a minute. She had to like take the tweet down before they would let her back on, and then she instantly got back on Twitter talking about how black people are always on the bottom of some shit. We always celebrate our criminals, this, that, and the other. Like they are paid to say these sorts of things. So if you share that shit on my timeline, I'm gonna tell you right now, I kind of lose a lot of respect for you. But also, I know that you're just not paying attention to what these people are about, and so
you just kind of sharing shit.
Yeah, you're just sharing shit. I mean, it's like that. What's that? You saw a headline, you shared the story.
I was about to say it's like people that share shit like y'all. The story where Michael Jackson died. Like nigga, that was 6 years ago. Like where the fuck you been? Like,
Hey,
people will share. They just share it when they see it. Yeah.
Hey, I've been guilty of that one though. Like,
I'm blind share. We've all done it. But
I've been guilty of that one. Like, Sherman Helmsley died. Like, damn, man, rest in peace, Sherman Helmsley. You'd be like,
and every time
Sherman Helmsley
died,
died.
I be like, he died again? Damn. Because you know, Donald Trump just told us that people are dying that have never died before.
Died who have never died before.
They have never died. There's people died that ain't never died before.
For sure, man. So, yeah, man. That's been Blue Blazers, y'all.
What in blue blazes is going on out here? Did this nigga just say blue blazes?
Yo, man, we've been on for a while. So we're not gonna do Proud to Be an American tonight, but we do have some listener feedback, and I do want to get back. I want to give them their their response. Yeah, their response. They mad at your boy though. They mad at your boy. So I mean, those are niggas that write. You like, here's the thing, right? So like the niggas that are mad at you always find the time to write you. You know?
Oh yeah. Well, who you think has been a Yelp? There wasn't nobody that want the do-gooders to hear about what's doing good.
It's never the niggas that really fuck with you. Like the niggas that really fuck with you, they're like, hey man, I like this shit, but I'm gonna just keep listening.
You'll never get thank you for doing what you should be doing. Thank you for doing what you meant to do.
For sure. But the niggas that don't fuck with you, hey, they gonna let you know. So we get this here email. This comes from some Ziggy. And Ziggy writes in to say, hey Spann, how crazy is it that for years now you've been on this kick about believing women when they come up with rape stories against black men like Bill Cosby and R. Kelly, but somehow you don't believe this story about Joe Biden and suddenly you want all the facts. Why couldn't you wait for all the facts with Cosby and Kel? That's all a lot of brothers have been asking for, but you've been wagging your finger at us. But because Biden is someone you like, you believe him. You're a hypocrite of the highest order. All right. I haven't done this in a long time, but it was at this moment where this listener knew he fucked up. All right. First things first, man. R. Kelly has like 20 some odd, at least 20 some odd people who have accused him of doing something sexually wrong against him. Bill Cosby has like at least 50 some odd women who have accused him of doing something wrong against them. Joe Biden right now has one sexual assault allegation against him. Now, the whole thing about believing women, I've said on this show plenty of time that overwhelmingly women are telling the truth when they tell somebody that when they come forward that they've been sexually accosted by somebody. It takes a lot of courage to come forward, especially when there's someone who has a lot of power, a lot of means, a lot of influence. I've said that repeatedly here on this show. I also, since last week, I articulated exactly why with Joe Biden I wasn't necessarily buying the story. Talked about the escalation of the allegations. I talked about the timing of the allegations. I talked about the people around the current administration who have been promoting false rape allegations against not just Joe Biden, but Dr. Anthony Fauci, Robert Mueller, Elizabeth Warren. Like there are people who are actually actively promoting false sexual assault allegations. So Joe Biden wasn't my first choice for president this year. Like I already said that too. Like I had 5 people ahead of Joe Biden this year that I would have been willing to vote for. But trust and believe, man. Like if you're gonna bring this to me, like R. Kelly, Bill Cosby, like those are your examples. Yeah, you's a stupid motherfucker, man. Like obviously you haven't been paying attention to anything that's been going on with R. Kelly. You haven't been paying attention to anything that's been going on with Bill Cosby, and you really haven't been paying any attention to what's been going on with Joe Biden. I'm not defending Joe Biden. I'm just saying, like, right now, the shit looks sketchy. It could be true. Right now, I don't believe it. It could be true. I didn't say she was lying. I said I don't believe it right now because of the circumstances surrounding this particular case. So the idea that, the whole thing about believe all women, I said before, the reason why we're seeing this, the talking point of believe all women is intentional. Republicans keep saying believe all women. What happened to believe all women? The slogan was never believe all women. It was believe women to the point. It's basically to give them a hearing, hear them out, give them proper motherfucking respect when they come forward. That's what they would tell. That's what we've been talking about for the past few years. You still don't believe the women who came forward against R. Kelly. You still don't believe the woman who came forward against Bill Cosby. You thinking that like I've been waving my fingers. I'm like, nah, man. Like, yo, like, especially with R. Kelly, this is shit that people from Chicago have been knowing for a long time, any motherfucking way. So yeah, man, miss me with this bullshit. I'm sorry, man. Like I low key like appreciate when people write into the show. Like, yo, man, I appreciate you writing in. Write again soon, but nah, fuck you, man. Never write into my show again. Fuck you. How about that? Yeah, that's been a list of feedback for the Spann Report podcast this week, man. But yo, before we get out of here, y'all know how we do, man. We gotta go out on a good note.
The champ is here. The champ is here. The champ is here. The champ is here.
All right, we gotta cut that shit off because YouTube and Facebook be tripping on the copyrights and shit. We can't play the whole song. But our champ of the week this week here at the Spann Report podcast is none other than a gentleman by the name of Torrance Burson, man. Now, Torrance Burson is the champ of the week this week here at the Spann Report podcast because Torrance did something for his daughter that I think she will never, ever forget, man. His daughter was graduating from college, and because of the coronavirus pandemic, she was not able to have a proper graduation from Xavier University. But what did her daddy do? He built her a stage in her driveway, so that his daughter can walk across the stage. So we get the story here from .com. It's that the graduation has become a bleak subject for seniors due to the coronavirus pandemic, but one father took it upon himself to make sure his daughter had a great day despite being confined to their home. Memphis native Torrance Burson couldn't stand to see his daughter Gabrielle Pierce upset over the fact that she didn't get to have a traditional graduation ceremony after spending 4 years at Xavier University in Louisiana. Burson wanted his daughter's accomplishments to be acknowledged. After all those years, you're going to walk across somebody's stage if I had to build it for you myself, he told Fox local affiliate. And that's exactly what Burson did. The father turned the driveway into a commencement ceremony, and that was fitting. And that was fitted with a podium, an audience, and a stage. To make the ceremony feel official, Burson included a procession, invocation, national anthem, welcome song, commencement address, and the conferring of his daughter's degree.
I know that's right.
Burson even created mock programs which jokingly read that Whitney Houston would be singing the Star Spangled Banner. Gabrielle graduated from Southwind High School in 2015 with the ambition to attend the illustrious Xavier University in Louisiana to achieve a degree in biology, pre-medicine. The program read per Blavity. During her junior year of college, she decided to go into another direction, medicine, by deciding to go into the public health science for epidemiology. After all the trials and tribulations she went through, she completed college with 130 credit hours. She now plans to join the armed forces to accomplish her end goal of working for the CDC. So, yo, man, listen, I know this coronavirus has been like really fucking with people, but shout out to Torrance Burson for stepping up in that way to do that for his daughter, man. That's some real black daddy shit.
Yes, it is.
That's some real black daddy shit. We got to salute that brother, man. Real talk, man. He stepped up in a real big way for his daughter, and I ain't got nothing but respect for him. For real. That's dope. That's fucking dope.
That is.
Out to your face for real, man. But
especially when you have Whitney Houston singing the Star Spangled Banner down.
Yeah, the best rendition.
That Marvin Gaye, that nigga did that.
The best rendition, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, we come on now. We gonna do it the way we do it. You know, so that's what's up, man. Real talk. Shout out to that brother Torrance Burson, champ of the week this week here at the Spann Report podcast. Yo, Correy, thank you so much for coming through. Let everybody know how they can get in touch with you, sister.
Listen, first of all, it has been an honor, as it always is, Scholar, to always share any platform with you. I want to thank you so much for having me have so much fun on your podcast. Everybody that can, You all can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Pornhub, RedTube, and X videos. At Correy B, and that's CORREYB. Also, you can find me every Thursday on Instagram at 7 p.m. Well, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time on the Couch with Correy B. Look me up on YouTube as well as Showtime, and there's a new Spann. I'm breaking this live right now on your podcast.
Okay.
There is a new streaming service coming out for our people of color, called Urban Flicks TV, where you'll see a lot of stuff from people like us. And my brother Damon Williams has filmed a new stand-up comedy TV series, something like Def Comedy Jam, and a lot of your favorite comedians, including myself, will be on there. It is only $4.99 a month, but there is a 7-day free trial. Urban Flicks is up and running now with a bunch of great shows on it. But Laugh Tonight with Damon Williams hasn't started yet. As soon as it does, I'll drop it to you first, and you can blast it out to your fans.
For sure. As a matter of fact, we'll try to have that link up available on this episode of the Spann Report podcast. So if you're listening to this shit, you can get it right when you listen to this, man. Like, you just go to the show and boom, you right there. You right there. It up like that. And I appreciate, like, yo, shout out to Damon Williams. I remember meeting that brother when I was working at Midway and shit. He was cool as fan, man. Real talk.
Dude, super
cool man. For sure. But before we get up out of here, of course, I do need to remind you guys how to get in touch with us over here at the Spann Report podcast. Let your voice be heard. Go ahead and hit up that hotline. Area code 313-288-0485. That's area code 313-288-0485. Leave those voicemail messages. Of course, those messages will get replayed here on the show and responded to in kind. You can also email us here at feedback@thespannreport.com. That's feedback@thespannreport.com. Leave us those emails and we will read those emails like this nigga Ziggy left us earlier today. And you can also hit us up on our website, www.thespannreport.com. You can watch replays of the show there. You can vote in the polls when we decide to put those polls up. You can leave us comments there. We can donate to the show. I forgot to tell y'all that. Y'all can donate to the show. Y'all can give us money, man. For real. Like, we do like the cash. Leave us some money on there, man. Like, donate to the show as often as you like, as much as you like. Of course, we appreciate all that money. You can also get yourself some merch. Get yourself some fly Spann Report Podcast Network t-shirts, man. Get your coffee mug or some shit. Drink up your Java and whatnot, man. Like, we got some stuff for y'all in that store, bro. Like, you even get a onesie for the baby. We got onesies and shit. Like, it's lit like that. For real. For real, for real. And then you can also hit us up with a 5-star review on iTunes and on Stitcher Radio. The 5-star reviews are the ones that get ready here live on the show, man. Real talk. Y'all know how to do it. And we're going to have all those links available in the show notes of the show. But I want to thank Correy for coming through again with us. And I appreciate everybody who's in the chat room and everybody who watched the show live. Y'all be able to watch the show later. But until next time, fam, we'll talk to y'all again soon. Peace.